and welcome to my crib. Come on in. We are in sunny Sussex, and this is a property that I have just completed on. So I wanted to do a quick walk around to show you the potential that it has. Now, starting in this room here, this is a smallish and dated kitchen, basically. So what is here isn't going to be staying, it's absolutely going. We're starting from scratch. Now, you know from recent videos that I'd love to refurb a kitchen if I can. If I really wanted to, I could try here, but I don't want to because we're actually having a change of situation. I'm going to be converting this from a large studio flat into a one-bedroom flat, which is exactly where I've seen the value with this property. Now, a few other things to mention whilst I'm in here is, first of all, this window is single glazed and it's wooden, which in any normal property is a very easy replacement, but as this is a leasehold flat, I am going to have to get permission to put in a double glazed window, which I highly doubt they will reject, as it's only bringing up the level of the building, and because the other windows in the flat already are double glazed. So I'm not quite sure they didn't replace that in the first instance. But this is the kitchen, which is going to eventually become a bedroom, but I'll explain that in a second. On the other side here, if I walk in, we've got the bathroom, which is, for want of a better word, just mundane, boring right now. Needs to have a shower put in, and I think I'm going to have to replace these tiles as they are ever so boring, as I mentioned. But it does the job, it ticks the box. It has a really good extractor fan in there, all the pipe works fine, so it's literally going to be a case of actually transforming the design of it rather than doing a complete overhaul of it. Now, moving into the main room, I say the main room, you can't actually feel part of the room because we've got this terrible wall here, okay? This wall someone's put in, and I think it was the worst decision they could have made with the layout that they have, okay? Because this is a relatively good size studio flat, which probably isn't coming across on camera, but we're talking about just over 400 square foot in size. Now, when we're talking about new build properties, new build flats, they quite often do one beds that are 350 square foot, 375 square foot, 400 square foot, you know, and this is above 400 square feet. So it's absolutely a big enough studio for this to be a one bedroom property, and that's where I'm going to be able to extract the value here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this wall, which is literally just this like really flimsy stud wall that's been put in, and I'm going to make this into an open plan living area with dual aspect, because you've got the window here and the window there, which lets a lot of light in. But not only that, but I'm going to move the wall from the old kitchen in about a metre and a half possibly. So move that into about here. I'm going to move the well-placed telephone or the intercom system for letting people in the front door. I'm going to move that with the wall to about here. And then I'm going to put a row of kitchen units along here. Now I'm going to do a really compact, nice designed kitchen with kind of the vinyl flooring around the kitchen area, and then the rest as carpet. So I have a really nice divide between the two. But that's going to be a really well compact kitchen. I'm going to try and do it within one line rather than going around a corner. And that's about, that distance there is about 2.6 meters. So it's a fair amount to play with in order to get in, you know, sink, units, oven, fridge, all your high units for everything else as well. So that's the plan, but this is going to be kitchen, open plan living area. So you're going to have a dining area, you're going to have somewhere to put your sofa, and you're going to have a proper double bedroom on the other side, transforming this from a impractical studio from a one bedroom. So on that note, why would I buy what is my smallest ever property purchase? Because I have bought other flats in the past, which are always typically smaller than your two bedroom houses, but they've always been about 500 square feet and above. So why would I go and buy a flat at about 400 square feet? And that is because I saw a deal and I saw an opportunity. Okay, I feel like someone had really missed the boat on what you need to do with this property. They've really missed the idea of how you can create this into a functional property. That's one thing. But I've also seen an opportunity which is a good deal on price. And for me, I'm always numbers led, I'm deal led, okay? I'm not going out there thinking, oh, I really want to find a lovely two bedroom house, or I really want to find a lovely one bedroom flat. I'm thinking, how can I make that a good deal? How can I make that a good deal? And that is exactly what happened here. I saw in this local area of Sussex, which is quite local to me, I saw a flat which was on the market for £140,000. And I thought, okay, it's currently a large studio. £140,000 isn't bad value because studios in this area tend to go for about 150, sometimes 160. So I'm thinking, right, it's on the market for 140. Possibly a little bit expensive. I'm going to keep an eye on it at this point. I'd need to make an offer quite a bit lower, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. I then saw it drop to offers in excess of 130. I'm like, right, I'm going to see that flat because now it's starting to fall into the territory in which I know this is good value. And I know lots of the blocks around here. So I've gone and seen it, offers in excess of 130, obviously ignoring the fact it says offers in excess of, because that means nothing. I don't have to offer above just because it says it. And what I've done is I've gone, right, the deal works for me, but I want to get it for 110. So I've offered 110. In fact, I offered a bit lower than that, but I've offered 110 at one point, okay? They've said, no, the lowest we will do this deal is £116,000. Run my numbers. I've worked out what I think it's going to cost me, about £15,000 to do the renovation here. And I know that other flats within this block have sold for £175,000, okay? So 116, 15,000 refurb, end value of 175. And during the purchase process, obviously things took a little bit longer. It took about 10 weeks to purchase this. I really wanted to close it off in about 6 weeks. There is something that came up along the way with the lease and it caused that time delay, caused me to have a bit of frustration. I found some other purchases, so I hit these guys with a lower offer of 110, and which we eventually renegotiated to. So 110 purchase, £175,000 end value, and at the end of this deal, all said and done, should be under £10,000 left in the deal, and it should get a good rent on the back end in the region of 900 to 950. I was thinking 900, but actually one has just let in this building for 950. So good rents in the area, which helps be able to purchase properties at this price. But that is it really. The last thing I'm going to show you is just this hallway, which of course will be extended out as the bedroom is brought out. This hallway is going to be brought out, and this will inevitably get longer. We've got two cupboards. We've got one here for storage, which I'm just going to leave. And then we've got the other cupboard just on the left-hand side of me here, which is for the immersion tank. Again, not the most ideal. When you buy flats like this, they're quite often on electric heating. Same with this one. We've got old night storage heaters, and you've got an immersion tank. So everything is run off of electricity, no gas in the building. But these actually work absolutely fine. My other rental properties, they work, they tick along all right. So all I've got to do is upgrade the electrics, put in a new consumer unit, and what I want to do is upgrade the night storage heater. Currently, this property is an EPCC with one radiator. What I'm going to do is take that off. I'm going to replace it with a new electric smart heater and probably install another one in here or in the bedroom, just to bring up the temperatures in the winter, because I can imagine it'd be a bit cold and miserable otherwise. This is such a redundant wall. I forgot to show you in the bedroom. This was their bedroom, which, as you can see now, I'm a short person. I hate to say it. I'm not 6'2" like you might think I am on camera, and I can almost just about touch the wall and well, either side of me. Okay, these guys had a bed in here, a double bed, which literally filled up the whole room. They'd have had to walk in and climb straight into bed, and they'd had to walk over the bed in order to get to the wardrobes, which they've obviously had put in at some point. Really useful space, but the bedroom is just impractical. So I'm probably going to leave these in here just purely from a storage element, because storage in flats is always a bit of a problem. We're going to take out this wall, make that the open plan living, as I said, and make it a proper functional one bed.